Welcome back to Introduction to Engineering Design. This is Module 8.1, and we're working on Subassembly C of the button maker handle, or the button maker rather, and that is the handle subassembly. You'll see that on my screen. So real quick review, it looks like we want to base this on part number 1, which is the handle body, which will be the first part that we'll assemble into our subassembly. So let's get started. We'll start out by making a new subassembly. And browse to the folder that contains our parts. The part number is 301 for the handle base, or the handle body rather. And there it is, 301. As we look at the orientation of this, it's not real specific. It just needs to face up and kind of towards me. These two holes are the same size in the button maker. So it looks like we'll rotate it once about the x-axis and then once about the z-axis. And it should be in position. Oh, I take that back. The holes are different sizes here, so let me rotate that around again. The y-axis, and place it. And I'll show you a way that you can look at sizes of things. If I go to my Evaluate tab, click on the Measure button, I can come down here and I can measure specific holes. See, that's a 0.31 diameter hole, which is the clearance hole for a 1/4 bolt. This one is for the roll pin. .25 inches there. Okay, I'm sorry, that's for the 5/16 bolt. Let's insert the rest of the assembly parts. So I'm just going to pick these all at once, 302 through 308. Holding down my control key, and I can choose them one at a time and add them, or I can hold my shift key down and add them top to bottom. So let me go to the top one, bottom one, the shift key. I've opened them all. I'm not particularly concerned about the order that they come in, so I'm just going to drop them into place. It's my washer, a spacer, a roller bearing, a bolt, a rubber handle, and a rubber handle insert, and the rod that connects them. All right, great. So let's start by placing this, placing the rod here into the handle and the handle into the rubber. So this rod will mate concentrically into the hole here. And let me do something here real quick before I do that. I want to basically reposition this so that they line up a little better so I can see them once they're inside. So, hole in the shaft, hole here, and I'll accept that mate. Now I'm going to bottom this shaft out into the bottom of the hole, choosing that ring. And that's actually what it looks like when it's assembled. I want to go ahead and lock rotation, and that part is assembled. Next up, what I want to do is make a concentric mate, place this, lock the rotation, and similarly I want to make the bottom of this metal shaft, or the handle shaft, line up to the bottom of my rubber handle. Right, I've got that piece mated now. That's ready to actually go into my metal handle, or my bracket. So we'll mate that, lock rotation. I'm going to pull it up so I can see the bottom. And I'm going to mate this flush in 2 places. Got a handle assembled now. Last thing I have to do is to put together this nut and bolt sequence on the side, and it looks like it goes bolt, and then it goes the roller spacer. Then it goes the roller inner bearing and roller outer bearing. Let's take a quick look and see how those things fit. I'm going to start with the bolt, and I'm going to place my spacer on the bolt. Lock the rotation again. I'll go ahead and have the bolt head contact the spacer head. And place my inner bearing concentrically on the shaft of the bolt. And once again, I think I'll have this surface contact mate to my spacer. And last, this will normally turn, but I'm not going to have it turn. I'm going to go and lock the rotation, make those 2 concentric, and place the 2 faces together. So now what I have is this little assembly over here, or piece put together, and that's my spacer that actually rides on top of the die press. This will go through the larger of the 2 holes, that hole right there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mate the bolt concentrically to the larger hole, lock my rotation, accept it, and then I'm going to go ahead and place, you'll see that that spacer protrudes through ever so slightly here. I'm going to mate the spacer face to the handle body and accept that. Okay, you'll see everything's underdefined here, and the reason for that is because I haven't fully locked in a few parts, so I'll get that done here in just a second. So let's look at my mates here. And I went ahead and locked most all of those. My rubber handle insert, not sure why that is not locked into place, but we'll take a quick look at that and see what's missing on that. And it may actually rebuild correctly. Okay, let's copy with some mates. So I'm going to go ahead and come down to this bolt, select that bolt, and I want to copy with mates. I'm going to choose the rest of the components. So I want the bolt, I want the spacer, I want the outer spacer, inner spacer, washer, outer, inner spacer. Click on my next arrow as I showed in class, and I'm going to repeat this mate concentrically in that hole, and I'm going to make it coincident, with this face. And then I've just made it that second bolt assembly. Alright, I've just mated all of those items. And I believe that does it. I do have to fix the bolt, and I'll do that here real quick offline, and then bring you back into the project as we start to put it together. Thanks for watching.